Practical Dude here, and today we're going to learn about graphing the trig function y equals cosine x. We're going to graph that one. It was similar to the one that we did before, y equals sine x. It travels in a wave. So the sine x, when we did it, it went like that, right? It's traveling in a wave. Well, the cosine x is very similar. All that's going to be changing is where we put our markings. So with the cosine, it's going to start at the highest point of the sine. So it goes like this. And then when it comes and finishes to the next wave, it's like that. This is how it is. It's going from 0 to 2 pi in this interval right here. And there we have a line going right through the middle. Continues, and this section right here is y equals cosine x. Okay? And as you can see, when cosine is 0, it goes up to cosine is 0 is 1. So this point right here is 1. And that means when it finishes going all the way around from 0 to 360, you're back where you started from. We don't like to use degrees, we use radians. That 360 is the same as 2 pi. And then middle in between, you're going to have pi. Right? And a cosine of pi, which is the same as cosine of 180, is negative 1. So this is negative 1. So this section here, right here, is how you do from 0 to 2 pi, y equals cosine x. Nice and simple. And in between, here we go, this is pi. Right? There it is. So let's take a review and we'll just do a couple of the problems really quickly. Here we go. Let's start this part over. So here's how I would graph y equals cosine x. Start here and make a line. This would be my x, this would be the y, right? And I'm just doing one part of it, goes like that. Nice and simple. There it is. So I would say, what are the important points? Well, this point is important. This point, where it's at its lowest, this is an intercept where it crosses. This is another x-intercept where it crosses the x-axis. And then that end point. So I have 4 parts right here. Because this is our first step. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps. They should be evenly spread out. Not the best drawing. So you take 4 of them, and the distance is 2 pi. So you say 2 pi over 4 is pi over 2. So all you have to do is just count by pi over 2. 1 pi over 2, 2 pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, 4 pi over 2. So this is 1 pi over 2, 2 pi over 2. Well, 2 pi over 2 is the same as pi. This is 3 pi over 2, and this is 4 pi over 2. Well, 4 pi over 2 is the same when you reduce to 2 pi. There it is, labeled it. And now what is the amplitude? The amplitude, well, when cosine of 0 is 1, this height is 1. And this part here, then at the lowest point, is negative 1. Okay? So that is y equals cosine x. But what if I wanted to do y equals 2 cosine x? Well, what has changed is just the amplitude. So it goes from 2 to negative 2. So what is going to change really on that one is this is going to go down to negative 2, and this one's going to go up to 2. Let me just give a little bit more space here. It's going to go up to 2. So what points are important? This point is still important. This point is important. And I'm going to start with 2. And I'm going to go all the way down to negative 2. The lowest point is down here. So it's going to look like this. I come here, I hit that point, curve. Now I got to go back and hit this point. And then I want to end up at 2 over here. So I come up, and there it is, the amplitude. And remember, this cosine is like the ride. Instead of the sine, the roller coaster, this one is like the water park ride. You have to climb and you start at the top of before you can go anywhere, right? Because gravity's pulling you down in the water park. So you start up high. Your ride begins up high, and then you go down. All right? Let's just take a look at what happens if I put the 2 in front as the frequency. If I do this, this means you get 2 rides. 2 rides you're going to do. So you come over here, and you're going to do this twice. So you go once, and then you go again. I was a little bit sloppy right there. Looks like I had a little problem with the ride. So you come down, and you kind of make it a little bit smoother. Now, we do the same thing. You want to know how to put these points, right? This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. And I want to know how to place these points. Well, very simply, you go, first of all, put dots where it crosses the axes, and then find the highs and lows. This is the lowest point, this is the highest point. This is the lowest, this is the highest. Now, how many do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We don't start with 0, because when you take your steps, your first step is moving away. So there's 8. So 2 pi over 8 is pi over 4. So each one of these is pi over 4. 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, 6 pi over 4, 7 pi over 4, 8 pi over 4. And then we reduce as we go along. So this is pi over 4, 1 pi over 4. This is 2 pi over 4. Well, 2 pi over 4 reduces to pi x. This is 3 pi over 4. That doesn't reduce. This is 4 pi over 4. 4 pi over 4 cancels and you're left with pi. This is 5 pi over 4. This is 6 pi over 4. And that reduces to 3 pi over 4. This is 7 pi over 4. This is 8 pi over 4, which reduces to 2 pi. And that is how you label that. Now you want to find out its amplitude. Well, amplitude is a number in front, and it's just 1. So this is 1, and this is -1. Okay? And if I were to change something, watch this. If I were to add a 2 here, right? If I were to add a 2, well, what happens? That means this whole thing shifts up 2 places. So the easiest way to shift up is just add 2 to everything. So this 1, if I add 2 to it, it becomes a 3. This will go from 0, if I add 2, becomes 2. This, if I add 2 to it, becomes 1. And then your 0 is down there. And there you have it. Now I just graph y equals 2x plus 2. Well, this has been Radical Dude, and I hope I was able to teach you something. Thank you.